Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. The union representing Canadian postal workers says its members in New Brunswick have been given the option of not delivering what the union describes as offensive anti-trans material. And a St. John teacher says that should be a clear sign that Canada Post has made a serious error by not refusing to block delivery altogether.
There is not one piece of information on this postcard that is true.
Stacey Wood says the message that recently came to her mailbox is nothing but lies. The flyer says New Brunswick schools are promoting transgenderism. It also says gender ideology in schools is often leading to chemical and surgical mutilation. Wood says Canada Post should have rejected the flyer because she says it amounts to fraud. Speaking as an educator, she says the message is totally wrong and damaging.
And being a teacher who currently, right now, along with thousands of other teachers in New Brunswick who are getting ready to welcome New Brunswick students into our classrooms next week, to be told that we are pushing transgenderism and that we are basically committing child abuse is very, very upsetting, because there is nothing about this that is true, because that is absolutely not happening in New Brunswick.
The group behind the flyer is the Campaign for Life Coalition. They say New Brunswick's Policy 713, which requires teachers to get parental consent before using the chosen names and pronouns of students under 16, is a wonderful parental rights policy that should not be changed.
We're hoping that also through this education campaign, it will encourage Premier Higgs to hold the line, to defend his policy in court and in the court of public opinion.
The New Brunswick Teachers Federation says the Department of Education should stand with teachers in countering false information. But the New Brunswick Progressive Conservatives don't see it that way. A campaign manager for Premier Higgs says the PCs have no involvement with this flyer or the actions of this group. But Steve Outhouse says individuals and groups are welcome to speak out on policies and topics they feel passionate about. That's freedom of speech and democracy, he said. Now, late this afternoon, the District Education Council and Anglophone East issued a statement about the advertising. They call it fear-based propaganda that defames our teachers and education system and implies there is something sinister about exploration of individual gender identity. And they call on leaders in the province to denounce dangerous fear-mongering. This is the same deck that tried to challenge Policy 713 in court but was denied standing. The Education Minister started a process to dissolve the council. Now, right now, there are no restrictions on third-party advertising because the official election campaign has yet to begin. But that will soon change with the issuance of the writ. Elections NB is preparing to ship election supplies later this week to returning offices all across the province. The campaign is due to begin September 19th, and election rules will kick in. That means third-party advertisers spending over $500 must register with Elections NB and appoint a chief financial officer. But Elections NB says it does not regulate the content of their messages.
There's no authority in Elections New Brunswick to monitor or control or regulate the content of any kind of advertising. If an individual is concerned that something they're receiving might constitute hate speech, that is something that they should make a complaint to their local policing authorities, because that is a criminal code offense. It's not something that falls under the jurisdiction of Elections New Brunswick.
Now, Elections New Brunswick says it does watch for any mistakes about voting information and does take steps to correct them. But if anyone misinforms voters on purpose about where they go to vote, that is an offense.